So, where do you want to start? What shall we talk about first?
Well, if we are going to talk about intelligent design, first we have to establish where the designer came from. You must be talking about God. So who made God?
This is actually an old debate, but probably you have not heard about it before.
No, I have not. Tell me about it.
Very well. Shall we begin? In his influential little essay, Why I'm Not a Christian, Bertrand Russell put this forward as his first objection. When he was addressing a gathering of atheists, Philip Adams said, the great argument for God was that there had to be a creation, a beginning. But my objection was simple. If God was the beginning, who began God? No one disputes that the universe had a beginning. The law of thermodynamics demands that there has to be a beginning, because if the universe has been running down forever, well, it would have already run down. If it has been burning up energy forever, all energy would have been used up by now. It has to have a starting point. Some believe that one universe dies and spawns a new one, but if this has been going on forever, then it should have been over by now, because each rebirth of the universe would have less energy than the former universe, and so eventually it all must simply disappear. One of the most established principles of logic, science and reality is the principle of causality. Something that has a beginning has a sufficient cause. The principle is not, everything has a cause. Bertrand Russell misstated it. No, the principle is, everything that has a beginning has a sufficient cause. Just a moment's thought confirms this, something which had no beginning has no need of a cause. Furthermore, a cause has to be sufficient, or adequate. You were found in a cabbage patch is not a sufficient explanation for your existence.
That makes sense. If it exists, it has to have a beginning. But the question remains, who began it, and who is the beginner?
Today's atheists like to use words like rational, reasonable, and scientific in describing their beliefs. But when talking about the greatest beginning of all, that of the universe, they claim it had no cause whatsoever. Some admit it is a problem, but they claim that saying, God did it, explains nothing because you then have to explain where God came from. But is this a valid objection? Of course not. Ruling out a theory simply because it goes against your preconceived notions is not objectivity at all. Let's say, for the sake of argument, that the most knowledgeable atheist has 10% of the knowledge in the entire universe and says, in the 10% of the universe that I know completely I see no God, therefore there is no God in the other 90% of the universe. That person is at best full of hubris.
Of course, I see your point. The universe is so vast that none can have even 10% of the knowledge in the universe. So, then, how do you explain the cause of everything around us?
The cause of the universe must have been non-material, because if the cause was material, that is natural, it would be subject to the same laws of decay as the universe. That means it would have to have had a beginning itself, and you have the same problem as cycles of births and deaths of universes. So the cause of the universe's beginning must have been supernatural, that is to say, non-material or spirit, a cause outside of space-matter-time. Such a cause would not be subject to the law of decay, and so would not have a beginning. That is, the cause had to be eternal spirit.
In other words, God is not material, he has no beginning, right? Tell me more about this being, this creator you call God.
The cause of the universe had to be incredibly powerful. The sheer size and energy seen in the universe together speak of that power. There had to be a sufficient cause. That sounds like the God of the Bible to me. The Bible reveals the creator of the universe as eternal, all-powerful, spirit, that is, non-material. Note that the Bible says, in the beginning God created the heavens and the earth. God created time itself. Only one who is outside of time, that is, timeless, or eternal, could do this.
I had never thought about it from that perspective before.
Now to ask where someone who is eternal, someone who had no beginning, came from, that is, who created God, is like asking, to whom is the bachelor married? It is an irrational question. The Bible matches reality, which is not surprising when we consider that it claims to be from the Creator himself.
I do not want to sidetrack you, but sometime you must tell me why you trust the Bible as a source of truth. From what I have been told, it is just a collection of myths and fables, and is full of nonsense and contradictions. So, why would you trust it?
Very well, we will discuss the matter of the trustworthiness of the Bible another time. Those who reject the Creator not only have to believe that matter came into being without any cause, they also have to believe that life itself popped into existence without an adequate cause. Even the simplest single-celled life is stupendously complex. A humble bacterium is full of incredibly sophisticated nanomachines that it needs to live. A cell needs a minimum of over 400 different proteins just to make the machines that are absolutely essential for life. How could these protein-based machines make themselves, even if all the right ingredients could make themselves? The amino acids, often thousands of them, have to be joined together in the correct order for each protein to function. To believe this happened by chance in the middle of a hostile environment is far more logical than to believe that they were designed and assembled by an intelligent creator. It's no wonder that Richard Dawkins admits that scientists might never work out how life could arise by natural processes.
Wow. A minimum of 400 proteins for just one cell. And thousands of amino acids to form just one protein? It boggles the mind.
Now, what sort of cause is sufficient to explain the origin of life? The cause must be incredibly intelligent, far beyond our intelligence. We marvel at the scientists who are discovering the nanotechnology in living things, and it is an astonishing enterprise. But what of the one who invented these things? How much more intelligent is he? This reminds me of another characteristic of the God whom the Bible reveals. He is omniscient, knowing all things. The Bible explains why otherwise intelligent people choose to believe impossible things. That firstly the universe, the life, just popped into existence without any adequate cause. They choose to illogically accept that their two "great beginnings" had no sufficient cause, rather than acknowledge and honor their Creator.
Thank you for taking the time to explain that to me. I have a lot to consider and to study about now. But there are a lot of questions still in my mind. May I seek you out in the future to continue our discussion?
Of course. I look forward to chatting with you about the beauty of the universe and the marvelous designer who created it.